everybody, Mrs. Tamita here, and welcome to this week's art class. This week we're going to be looking at an artist named Romero Britto. You may recognize some of his work from last e-learning term, but this year we're going to do a deep dive into what his artwork looks like. So let's look at some examples of his work. Here's our first example of Romero Britto's work. This is a painting of an eagle. And here's another example. This one is a really cute kitty cat. And here is a puppy dog done by Romero Britto as well. As you can see, his signature is right down here in the corner. So when we look at all three of those pictures next to each other, I want to see if you can think of a few things that all the pictures have in common. So just look for a second and see if you can pick out some things that all three of those pictures have. I can think of one thing. I would say they are all pictures of animals. So if you thought of that, good job. Another thing is that they all have some divided space in the backgrounds and on the animals. So he likes to use these lines to kind of break up the space in each of his images. And I wonder if you could think of the third thing. If you thought of patterns, then good job. Romero Britto includes lots of patterns and designs in his artwork. So we are going to be looking a little more at patterns and designs later on today. But before we do that, I want to share a quick video of Romero Britto talking about his work, because who better to tell you about his work than Romero Britto himself? So a couple things you should know about Romero Britto are that, first of all, he is a contemporary artist. A contemporary artist is an artist who is still alive and making work today. And he is also from Brazil. So without further ado, here's a little bit about Romero Britto.
People tell that my style is pop art. Some people tell whatever. Some people say that it's a Britto style. And I'm just like, I paint, and that's what I do. I let the critics and I let the experts in the arts to say whatever they want, but in life. But I never thought that I would become a full-time artist. I definitely did not have all the means that I have today. So I paint on newspaper, cardboards, whatever I could put my hands on. A long time ago, when I couldn't afford to buy all the brush that I can buy now, I used finger paint. I did finger paint with pastel, or sometimes with tempera, all kind of stuff. I love the idea of working with a lot of organizations, companies, corporations that they use art to reach out people, from Mattel, Hasbro, Vodka, Evian, Coca-Cola, Disney, to companies across the world in Asia that use so many different ways to reach out people. Always very interesting in ways of expressing myself.
그냥 커피 말고 앗한 커피를 마셔봐. GS25와 로메로 브리토의 앗한 콜라보레이션.
커피가 앗한데?
지금 GS25에서 만나세요.
My color palette is being something that I've been developed for years. First I start using more primary colors, then I start adding pastels, metallics. But I was always very interested, and I was very drawn into vibrant colors. And the yellow that I use and all the blues or the reds, I'm very consistent about those. And some of the colors have been inspired about toys that my son played with when he was growing up. And I have a company that mixes my colors, and then I have this special yellow, the special red, the blues and the greens and so forth. I hope when people see my art, they have a big smile on their face and a huge one in their heart. And every time they see over and over again, they remember something special on their lives, and that's basically, for me, will be a huge accomplishment.
So as you can see, Romero Britto creates a lot of work, and it all shows super bright colors and those patterns that we talked about earlier. This week, we are just going to be practicing making designs and patterns. Remember, a pattern is something that repeats. So you'll want to grab your sketchbook and turn to a blank page. First, what you'll do is just draw 6 squares or boxes. They don't have to be perfect. These are just areas for us to practice our patterns in. And then just fill each box with a different pattern. For your artwork, you can use some of the ideas that I'm doing in this example, or if you'd like to, you could create your very own ideas. Or you could pause the video here and borrow some of these ideas. Either way, just have fun making your 6 different patterns.